everyone, it's Colleen with Made for Mermaids. Welcome to day 1 of our Reese Sew-a-long. Today we're going to be doing our prep work and also sewing up our shoulder seams. So first I'll go over my fabric pieces. Yours may look a bit different. You can see I have my front skirt piece cut as mirror images with the notches cut away. And then my back skirt piece is cut on the fold, and you can see again those notches on the right side are cut away from the fabric. Next, I'm going to do my own binding for the placket. And then I also cut a collar piece out of the lining. I haven't decided yet if I'll use the lining or if I'll use 2 of the main fabric, but I cut out both just in case. I haven't decided yet which one I'll use. If you're using store-bought binding, it will save you a bit of time. And then I have my collar pieces cut out of the main fabric. If you're doing one of the sleeve tie options, you'll have 4 tie pieces. So you can see I have my 4 ties. All of those are cut on the fold. And then you'll need some sort of closure. So buttons, snaps. I think I'm going to use these mismatched buttons just for fun. I don't know. I might change my mind and use the all white buttons. And then I'm using the contrasting fabric for my placket on my sleeve. Then I have my bodice pieces and my sleeve pieces. These sleeves are not cut on the fold, so it's important that you cut the notches away from the fabric so that you can identify the front and the back of the sleeve. And then those were my sleeve plackets that I decided not to use. And then on your bodice pieces, again, same thing, make sure that you cut the notches away from the fabric. Your front bodice will be cut as mirror images, and your back bodice will be cut on the fold. I won't lie, getting some of the materials for Reese over here in Japan was a little bit difficult because I cannot read kanji. So I think this is a stabilizer that will work. I couldn't find a wash away stabilizer for when I'm attaching the buttons, but this is an iron-on interfacing, and I think it should work for doing the placket. I'm hoping so anyway. Once you've cut out your pieces from the stabilizer and the interfacing, we're going to go ahead and sew up our shoulder seams. Do keep in mind that when you're working with wovens, you really want to take the time to press and use both the serger and your sewing machine. I know it's faster and easier to just use the straight serger, but it's much better for the longevity of the piece if you use both the sewing machine and finish the seams somehow to prevent fraying. So you'll see I'm attaching my shoulder seams with the bodice pieces right sides together. And I'm just clipping at the shoulder seams, and I'm going to stitch those up with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. First with my sewing machine, just a regular basic straight stitch. And then I'll go over that seam without cutting anything off. I'll go over that seam with my serger just to finish that seam off. So you can see I've run it through the serger. You can see my serger stitches as well as the sewing machine stitches. And after we've done that, I'm going to just repeat from the other side. You can press the seam allowance toward the back just to keep it consistent. And then we'll go ahead and stitch the other side. After you've finished sewing up your shoulder seams, you are all done with day 1, and we will see you back tomorrow for day 2. We'll see you then.